Alright, I have a new homebrew, and this is actually a beer I've never made before. It's a recipe that I came up with. Pretty sure I did. I don't think I copied modified one. It's an alt beer, just to get that out of the way. Altbier, alt means old in German, and the old brewing style was ales. I don't know that's really necessarily a very specific type of beer, although I guess it could be. Well, my knowledge of alt beers is extremely limited. The only alt beer I can immediately think of that I've tried is Widmer's Alt, in Portland, Oregon. I did not like their alt because it's bitter. I think it's about 40 IB. Okay, well, it's not that bitter, but it's bitter to me, considering they don't use too many dark malts. But they also put a lot of roasted in it, and I don't like roasted malt for the most part. Roasted malt usually means it has coffee tones, maybe some astringency, a little bit of mouth puckering. It could have a little bit of sharp flavors to it. Just depends on your perception, but I just don't like that malt. So when I was a novice brewer back in the day, I just wouldn't even try to modify a beer because it's like, okay, I don't like the style, I'm not even going to try it. Well, now if I don't like it, I'll look it up and see is there a way I can modify it to make it to where I like it. An exception would be IPAs. However, I only brew German and Belgian beers now. Well, the only alt beer I've known is bitter, and I said, I'll bet I can make this not bitter at all. So I looked up the BJCP profile for an alt beer, and it's pretty basic. Just pilsner malt, and that said a little bit of maltiness in it, which I did. I added some Vienna malt, and it said you could either use roasted or you could use some crystal caramel. Well, I'm not a fan of roasted, but I really like crystal caramel, so I added some of that. To go over it briefly here, just a second. Where's I at? The alt beer has a decent amount of liquid malt in it. It should have been over, definitely over 0.040 gravity. What was my gravity? Oh, it was. I only used 12 ounces of Crystal 80 and 12 ounces of Vienna, very little. But like I said, I was creating this recipe for the first time. Crystal 80 has pronounced, how do I say it, burnt sugar, a little bit of raisin, toffee. That's primarily what it's known for. Whether or not you taste all that's another story. And then Vienna is a malty, very pronounced malt with that particular style of malt. I'm trying to think of another way to say malt. Let's say malt because both it's a malt that tastes like malt. Now there are two types of grain that give a malty flavor that are primarily known for it. Vienna is one and Munich is the other. Vienna is a little bit lighter, Munich is more pronounced. Well, I wanted the lighter this time around. Okay, so not a lot of that in there. For my bittering hops, I use Perle. And actually, that's all I use, come to think of it. Perle for bittering, and then also 10 minutes for a little bit of aroma and a little bit of flavor. So, and then I don't know, for some reason I put Irish moss in it to make it clear. I don't know why I did that. But I want to look at Perle hops real quick here. So, yeah, as I was suspecting, they're known to be spicy and floral, but I didn't use a whole lot of it. And then I used Kolsch yeast. So, mine turned out to be 4.5% alcohol. I was very happy with that. Let's see, I brewed it on December 29th, and I just kegged it today, so it's green. It should have gone a little bit longer, but I said, what the hell, I'm gonna have it now. I'm pleased with how it turned out. So, just kegged it a little bit ago. Wanted to show it off here. It's extremely green, like my other beers I've reviewed that I made. It's young and not full flavored yet. Completely opaque, can't see through it, cloudy, and it's gonna have to age a little while, but I wanted to sample it ahead of time. Why not? So it's a good color. It looks like a murky, muddy brown, and that's kind of what I was expecting. Crystal 80 can be darker than that, but I use so little of it that, well, that's actually the main contributor for this color. Normally it's a little bit darker though, but that's fine. I mean, like I said, there wasn't very much in there. The head died down. When I first tapped it, it was like significant. Now it's, you know, quarter-inch or so. I do get a little bit of sweet tones off the nose, but they're very light. But being green, I expect that. Yeah, but I know what to sniff for, so I'm going to go and take a quick sample here. This isn't going to be a full review. I just wanted to talk about this beer for a minute. Tastes like a little bit light, a little bit right between a medium and a light and a medium body. No hoppiness at all. I get just a little bit of maltiness, just a tease of it. Caramel, a little bit toffee, a little bit candiness in there. I'm not getting the sugary, you know, raisin, prune, or plum that can sometimes come from Crystal Lady. Different people get different perceptions of it. The flavors I mentioned earlier are only some of them. I mean, there's more than that, depending on what you can pick up. But it's usually darker flavors. There's no floral or spicy in the nose, at least not yet. After a week of aging there may be, but I only used 1 ounce of hops in 5 gallons. I do get a little tiny bit of malt from the Vienna. That's good. Nice flavor. Oh yeah, I'm getting a little bit of soft caramel or toffee on the back in the back of my mouth. Each sip gives me a little something different. It's nice. So yeah, one final point to make about these, and then that'll be the end for now. It's not really the best idea to take green beer. In other words, it just means it's very young. It hasn't necessarily, well, I didn't let mine go in the fermenter as long as I should have. I should let go at least another few days, but I didn't. Not a bad thing, it's just recommended. And then beer should usually be aged for at least a week before tapping it, but I don't think I've ever done that. So we'll see how it is another week. Till then, here's my German Altbier. And yeah, it's not the prettiest thing to look at, but you know, the yeast will fall in suspension in time and should look a little bit different and taste better in about a week. So that's all I have for now. Cheers.